We will watch two films today literally in the name of development. One is our honorable Prime Minister speak about his agricultural strategy to deal with the state of farmers and agriculture in India. Followed by Have You Seen The Arana by Sunanda Bhat. This is a film that for a very long time I wanted to share with you at THEfdZONE, and I think this is the right time because Sunanda has been traveling and she's here to talk to us.
People who are not familiar with Kerala, Wayanad is in northern Kerala, and it's part of the Western Ghats. And for me as a filmmaker, what was interesting is that it has very diverse kind of landscapes, and the film is really about the stories of people in these diverse landscapes, rice fields, plantation and forest, and interwoven through these contemporary narratives is an old creation myth that I heard about, when I decided to make a film in Wayanad. A friend told me about it, and it remained with me through the process of research. And it was the most difficult part in making the film, is how to incorporate this with, the present day reality.
So we'll watch both the films back to back. One is a very simple 2-minute film about the less heard voice of our Prime Minister, and followed by Sunanda's film. And feel free to initiate a discussion after the screen. Thank you. There's been one question I've been waiting to ask, because the first time when I saw the film, I thought I was responding to the sense of loss in terms of nostalgia about a way of life. And parallelly, I was also responding to the politics of development vis-a-vis agriculture. And there is a myth that drives the film forward. Was it an easy film to edit?
No, it was very difficult because, there were so many stories and narratives. It was not like a single character driven film. But I had a very good team, and Tanushree was the editor, so she did the initial cut. And then we also had a consultant who was Beena Paul. So she's a very senior editor, and her knowledge of Malayalam and I think her experience helped a lot. So we struggled with the myth and how to weave it in. Without it sticking out, or so that it connected with what the narratives that were happening. And, her inputs were valuable there. But, in terms of, this was a development that happened through the research, the way the final film happened, in the sense that I started off from one point and then I arrived at actually, I first started, I first went to Wayanad when I came across these articles by Sainath in the Hindu on farmer suicides and agricultural crisis there. And I decided to go and see what was happening. And initially, my film was about ginger cultivation and was looking at the Adivasis who migrated from Wayanad to Coorg for ginger cultivation. And I was doing a research on the Adivasis and their history and everything along the way. But somewhere I realized in the process that, the film that I was making was representing the Adivasis as the way they're represented in mainstream media, which is as an exploited and helpless lot. And my experience on the field was completely different. I met very interesting characters who had a lot of strength and who also knew so much, but who were not, who were so simple and they were willing to share what they knew, and these were very simple things that they didn't have some major, ideologies. These small things that they practice on a day-to-day basis. So that's when I decided to kind of shift my idea and look at the landscape as a whole, look at this place as a whole, and I picked out these one of the important elements in my research was this bus journeys. When you travel in Wayanad, you usually travel by bus, and it's fascinating because you could begin in the valley, say if the town is in the valley, and you take the bus from there, you pass rice fields, and you go up the slopes, and you see these rubber, coffee, ginger plantations, and then you go up, you pass a forest, and then you come to a town. So for me, this was absolutely fascinating to see in this small district of Wayanad, to see these diverse landscapes and coexisting and surviving. So I thought, why not make a film? So instead of focusing only on ginger, look at the wider space, and picked out these 3 stories of from these 3 landscapes and wove it with the myth.